What is going on? Welcome back to Trending Stocks. Today we're going to talk to you about SoFi. I want to go over some of the current data points, break it down on what shorts did, and go over everything else you need to know. But first, make sure to hit that thumbs up. And with that, let's get right to it. SoFi did go up 1.93%, 750 the high, 729 the low. I think it was fair to assume that given the data that came out PCE today, a lot of people, it wasn't going to get above 750. I think that was a fair understanding, especially level of open interest that I'll talk on in a second. Market makers weren't going to let that jive. But still, I think it did move in the right direction. A lot of people seem to be really hating on SoFi over the last little bit, even though if you kind of think about it, it's done relatively good. So today, no news, no SEC filings, nothing like that. But looking at the charting, like I said, over the last, more specifically 1 month, SoFi is up 14.71% and the S&P it is down. So SoFi again is at least moving in the right direction leading into their earnings. Obviously, I think a lot of people were under the impression that it would be $8, $9, $10, and whatever else, but obviously certain manipulation, which obviously happens on Fridays, but still, it is what it is. Let me know your thoughts on SoFi about that. Today, PCE did come out a little bit hotter than anticipated. You see a lot of people referring that it kind of came in line. They're talking about the price index, not the core PCE, which the Feds like to use as a true indicator of inflation. So it came in at 2.6 versus 2.5. So this is why, in general, you saw the market overall green, reacting to a lot of the data that's been coming out, including GDP, but PCE caused a lot of volatility, not just with SoFi, the broader market. So that's kind of what the basis of that was. But in general, though, looking here, because of the recent update for PCE, now there is a 11.9% likelihood of a 50 basis point cut, and that's for the September 18th meeting. This, in reality, is going to be the next big catalyst for the broader market, and obviously not counting SoFi's specific earnings. So September 18th will be a very big day for that. Aside from that, though, no actual articles, no new analyst ratings, so it's just been kind of piggybacking, coasting with the broader market. SoFi shorts, though, have been somewhat all over the place. So yesterday they doubled the hell down. Today they did return. I feel like they don't even know what the hell they're doing. Today they returned 150,000 shares, 17.04% of the free float is being shorted, and that does work out to be 176.93 million shares overall are being shorted. Utilization is 58.12, and then short score 72.09. For whatever reason, sometimes I feel like just people want to hype stuff up for whatever, again, no basis. You see a lot of people on social media saying that SoFi is going to have a squeeze as a byproduct of their earnings. So when it comes down to their earnings, I just wanted to quickly break this down. So their earnings, in case you do not know, is on the 30th pre-market. So basically 2 trading days left. So Monday and Tuesday, because I think it is, 1 trading day left, essentially. So just the Monday. I was thinking, whatever. I clearly have my stuff wrong. So 1 cent is the earnings per share estimate. 566.69 million is that revenue. Over this last 90 days, 3 positive revisions from analysts, 5 negative. So based on this, you do see a lot of good growth. So looking on a quarter by quarter basis, you see a lot of good growth. Even looks like June 2025, so the Q2 2025, this is where analysts are forecasting significant growth, 1,145% year-over-year growth. So pretty good stuff for that, and consistent revenue growth pretty much all the way up until the tail end of 2026. So in essence, yeah, it could prompt a squeeze, but given what obviously Anthony Noto said in his recent interview, it's, I think right now the next big thing to propel SoFi higher would be rate cuts. And I don't feel, based on a lot of the data that's been coming out, that there is going to be significant beats. Because one thing that I just wanted to kind of bring up was, and plus I think I brought it up like 2 weeks ago. So a lot of people like to correlate member growth with views on SoFi's website. Views in Q2 have been a little bit lower, if not stagnant. So again, is that going to result in lower member growth? we'll just have to wait and see, right? And that's definitely going to spook a lot of the broader market if SoFi doesn't hit those high multiple double-digit growth numbers as what it typically does. So I don't know. What's your thoughts on a side note? Do you think that their upcoming earnings could prompt a squeeze, or do you think that it's just going to be kind of mellowing out? In my opinion, I think SoFi is just going to kind of continue to hit home run earnings, and shorts will just naturally leave on their own accord without a squeeze occurring. Even though squeezes would be very exciting, I don't really see that happening with SoFi. Moving on to options, a lot of money was getting into SoFi through options, 4.5 million in calls, 1.25 million in puts. Sentiment wise, 51% of all the options being done are optimistic and bullish, and of the call options that are being purchased, you do see a consensus for it to be above $9 by the end of, or between $9 and $9.50 by the end of next week. So that does encumber their earnings. So a lot of people are relatively optimistic about that. On the flip side, for the puts, you do see a low of roughly $6. So it could be anywhere from 6 or sub 6 to in excess of 950. So that's what the market is kind of feeling is realistic for next week. Looking at the open interest, so with it closing at $7.42, that does mean the 10,000 in open interest at 7 and the 4,000 at 650 and then the 2,000 at 6 is all going to be bought up on Monday. So you'll see a very minor bump up. So that's only about like 1.6 million shares overall. So again, not necessarily the best. It would have been better if it was above 750 or even 8, but whatever, it is what it is. These are some of the transactions that did occur on the secondary market above $100,000. A lot of activity after hours. One big one, 5.55 million. First thing, 1.4. And you do see a lot of selling that did happen pretty much the majority of the day and just kind of here. So that's what caused all of this crazy volatility. So institutions are clearly mitigating some risk because of PCE maybe not coming in line with expectations. We'll just have to wait and see. But 750 was kind of the word of the day, or I guess word of the week, because that was a very strong pivot that SoFi needed to kind of hold out in some cases, and over the last several trading days needed to really get above. So with it closing at $7.41, it's trading between this R1 and R2. So 721 will be a strong support that you'll want to watch for it to hold in the next several trading days. And then on the flip side, 750. So kind of just watch for that. Going into next week, though, you do see stochastic at roughly 58. So it's kind of neutral, not considered overbought nor oversold. So just kind of stuck in the middle there. And number of retail investors have been getting in over this last several days. So yeah, all in all, pretty good stuff for SoFi. Did you buy today? Did you sell? And when it comes to their upcoming earnings, are you guys doing any options? I was actually thinking about doing some options, but I think I'll have to wait until Monday. But yeah, I think there's some pretty good premiums to be had. I'll do a dedicated video this weekend on just what to look for, how to play SoFi through, or any company, I guess, in fact, with options and their earnings. So yeah, definitely should be a fun weekend. Don't forget to hit that thumbs up and subscribe. And with all that, appreciate all of you watching.